pay very close attention to your dreams because oftentimes they're trying to reveal something to you. And if you have that gift through God, then you know what I'm talking about. Last night I had a dream. I didn't think it was going to be significant until later today when I remembered it and I was telling my husband. But the dream was about, in the dream, because there was a lot of things going on, there was two snakes, serpents. One of them was like a 200-foot python that was really fat and had something digesting inside of it, and I couldn't see its head, but I was interested and intrigued looking at this python. And then the second serpent that I seen later in the dream was a silver, like iridescent white king cobra, and I saw the back of it like flared out and it was standing like how cobras like stand, and it was going to find a hiding place into a small closet. And I was anticipating it coming out and popping out somewhere else later inside the house that I was in. And so what this means, and my husband, as he was about to go to work, he happened to find this let me see if I could show you this A to Z symbolic dream dictionary. And I was like, let me look up like what that means. Like, so I looked up serpent, I looked up cobra, I looked up snake, I looked up king snake. And under python, it says to see a python in your dream represents the spirit of divination, the occult fortune telling spirit, submitting to the control or will of others, lurking danger, sin, lacking freedom, and overt sexuality. You are feeling strangled, strong armed, muscled, or constricted and confined. And the other ones were basically saying high cobra in here was saying high level witchcraft, and I just kept seeing witchcraft, divination, somebody trying to like twist things, like it was all these like really negative words. And then I looked up, one of them was saying the python spirit, and I was like, if you're a Christian and you're not, or you're anybody and you're not well versed in the spirit realm and you claim to do those things in the spirit realm, then you really should equip yourself with the armor of God when you're dealing with these things and seek to get delivered, because I had to get delivered. My husband sent me a prayer so that I could read it over myself, because I had dabbled a lot in divination and tarot card readings and things of that nature, and a lot of that was still somewhat intriguing to me in a way that I hadn't really thought I was accepting into myself, and I had allowed the enemy a foothold into my life. And so when I looked up the spirit of python, it said it's a term used to describe a demonic spirit associated with divination and oppression, aiming to hinder spiritual growth and intimacy with God. And it goes on to explain the nature of the spirit is believed to be deceptive and oppressive, and a force that aims to oppress and strangle. Like a python squeezing its prey, the spirit is thought to restrict, suffocate, and drain the life out of a believer's spiritual life. It's also meant to hinder spiritual growth. It seeks to prevent believers from growing in their faith, hindering prayer, worship, and intimacy with God. And it promotes deception, which can lead to false prophecies, manipulative dreams, and a distorted understanding of spiritual truth. And then it creates a spiritual dryness, y'all, where it can manifest as a lack of passion for prayer, weariness, and a feeling of being spiritually drained, which I have been struggling so hard with, just wanting, like, feeling disciplined, feeling motivated, feeling I literally said the words today because I had a mental breakdown before I had remembered this dream. You wouldn't be able to look at me and see that, but I struggled today so bad, and the word that literally I kept saying to my husband was, I feel so restricted. And then he sent me this like deliverance prayer once he got to work, and I was like telling him when I had opened the book and looked at the definitions of these things, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I feel like that, I feel convicted. I feel like that applies to me. I feel like there's still something that has a hold of me from like my past that is still has like a place in my mind. And so when I did that prayer, I felt more empowered than I did before. So pay attention to your dreams, y'all, and put on the armor of God.